okay. Explaining IDA and the IEP processes. Free appropriate public education, also known as FAPE, allows every child who lives in America, regardless of ability, to be granted a free and public education with additional services provided. Least restrictive environment, LRE. It's also known as LRE. Primarily depends on students' needs when appropriate children with disabilities should be able to access a general education environment unless they're exceptionally severe. Like I work in an ID classroom and we have some students that are severe and they cannot be in a regular general education environment. They're just too disruptive. Referral process. Concerns with parent or school initiated referral, like if a parent consents to a screening or formal evaluation along with assessment. Evaluation. A lot of these processes have to do with a child's eligibility to get into the special education program. Like evaluation process, a process that takes about 60 days or more depending on state regulations. I think in Wisconsin it does take about 60. And again, eligibility determination. Special education receives assurance from the IDEA, which is supported through law, and the IEP will determine a student's eligibility to be enrolled in a special education program. IEP components. This section is responsible for the team to identify and develop students' IEPs by examining 5 areas: student strengths, parental concerns about student academics, assessment results, students' academics or developmental needs, and special factors. Parental involvement. Honestly, I wish a lot more parents were involved. I know there are some good parents out there that are involved, but I've seen the kids in my ID classroom and some of their parents don't really show involvement. We have some kids that show readiness signs to be potty trained and yet are still in pull-ups and don't show any sign of being potty trained at home. And we've talked to parents and they don't really discuss it with us further. I just wish some parents would realize that just because a child has a disability doesn't mean that they're not gonna go anywhere. Because some of the kids I've seen in my classroom, yeah, they have really prominent disabilities, but they're capable of doing a lot more instead of letting their disability hold them back. But some of the parents just seem to accept that they're disabled and they're not gonna be like the other kids, and they just act like it's hopeless, which is so sad. rather than trying to help the kids become independent and become better versions of themselves. They just treat them like they're little babies. I've seen some of the parents in my classroom that, yeah. So we have one girl in the classroom that if we try and get her to do anything, even if it's doing homework or putting on her coat, she will start screaming and throw a fit. And you can completely tell that her parents do everything for her at home. Quarterly progress monitoring. This is a great strategy utilized by educators. It tells teachers what the child has learned in the specific areas where the child is showing success and other areas where the student still needs improvement. Monitoring is very important. Annual review is very important for educators. It is often done once a year, and the team, the special education team, along with the parents, collaborate together to discuss the academic progress of the student. The student, like my son's special education team at his school, just reviewed him, and I am very happy that they determined he does not need to be in the program anymore, and so he has been phased out. I was very happy for him to be in there and get the services he needed, and they said that they don't feel he needs it anymore. Procedural safeguards are important in the education system. These safeguards are created to protect the rights of parents and their children who live with disabilities. There's always got to be procedures, and that procedure by law protects all the information of the child and the family. A prior written notice is an explanation from the school district concerning a change in child's IEP program. Like a good one is when I mentioned about my son. I got the notice that he would be no longer continuing the program because they feel that he is doing significantly well and does not need it. Related services. This is very important. It refers to various areas like transportation, developmental, corrective. There's a variety of support services that are required to assist a child with a disability to benefit from special education. These can include speech, audio services, interpreting services, and psychological services. Audio services for my classroom can consist of what's called lamps. They look like iPads or tablets, but they have a app link that's on them that helps the child communicate like everything that they would want to say or ask for. They type it in to the lamp and the lamp speaks it for them. It's really remarkable. And transportation is very key. My students in the ID classroom, most of them all take special needs buses. Some get transportation from a specialized van. So it all depends on the child's individual needs. But yeah, all these are very, very important. It helps the staff, the educators, as well as the students and the parents to keep everything running smoothly. So that's it. This is the assignment discussing IDEA and IEP processes. My name is Rebecca Marceline, and I hope you have a wonderful night. Again, I apologize for this being a bit late. There's been a lot going on, but right now it's 12:21, and I've been trying to stay up and get everything done to the best of my ability. Thank you for bearing with me and being patient. And I'll probably get the rest of it done throughout the week and into the weekend. Just this last weekend, my son was sick. He's still a little sick, but he's starting to get better. So everything's been a whirlwind, but luckily, God has me, and He's gonna pull me through everything. And thank you for all the help and support